Are we ready to begin? All right. We will have our opening statement first by Mr. Press.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the PTA Council. Can everyone hear me?
Now,
Very loudspeaker. No?
for your opening statement,
You want me to come up?
come up, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Okay. I'll try to speak loud. I'm not a loudspeaker. I want to thank the PTA Council for hosting the event and the League of Women Voters for moderating. I want to thank you guys all for coming out. I hope I don't break the lamp. For those who don't know, it looks like this is most of you do, so I'll talk to you guys. My name is Joel Press. I'm a resident here for 11 and a half years. My wife and I moved here back in 2001 with our, at that time, almost 2-year-old daughter. She is now 13 and finishing up 7th grade at the middle school. We have a little one who is 11, and she's in 5th grade at Plaza. Since our kids entered school, my wife and I have been very active with the PTA, doing many different things. For me in particular, the last 5 years, I've been very active there. I've been the school board liaison for the PTA for 4 of the last 5 years, which means I get to go to school board meetings and report back on important matters to the membership. I've been the BEA, the Baldwin Educational Assembly liaison for the past 3 years, and during that time I've served on the Budget Advisory Committee, the last 2 as chairperson of that committee, and also the last 2 years on the BEA Executive Committee, and I'm actually nominated to be the chairperson of the BEA for the next school year. As if I don't have enough to do there, I'm a member of the middle school PTA, the Baldwin Civic Association, and I was a committee member on the Supporters of 92 campaign. This is all stuff I've done in the last year. In my professional life, I am an attorney, 18 years of practice. I work the last 12 at a division of a major multinational corporation where I do a lot of contract work and state, national, and international regulatory compliance matters. And I mentioned all that not to toot my own horn. I'm really not that comfortable doing that. But I mentioned that just to give you some perspective on my positions. And I also think that that's the kind of foundation that you want for someone who is running for a position on the board. We've got a lot of issues that we've got to address here in the district, among them budget issues. I think we have a school community relations issue that we need to address, some communications issues that we need to also address, among many other things, implementation of the Common Core standards and APPR and things like that. And so those are the issues that I think, wow, 1 minute? I ran through this at home. I guess I'm speaking a lot faster. Those are some of the issues that I think we need to address, and hopefully you guys will have questions and we'll be able to answer them for you tonight. So thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, throughout the forum, if we hold our applause until the end, that would be appreciated. At the end, you can yell and scream and even jump up in groups, but not
Good evening. How are you all? I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Baldwin Council of PTAs for sponsoring this forum and for the Women's League of Voters for moderating. My name is Kim Taylor. I have lived in Baldwin for 18 years. I have a daughter in the middle school. I am proud to say enjoys school and excels in all of her classes. I have worked with and have been an advocate for children for over 20 years. I'm a speech language pathologist by trade, and I work through early intervention for Nassau County. I grew up in Brooklyn and went through the city public school system. Baldwin has always been proud to offer its students a well-rounded educational experience, including a vast array of AP courses, championship-level sports teams, an award-winning school-to-career program, a cutting-edge academy program, as well as arts and music programs that are nationally recognized. We can boast about our high graduation rate and scholarships to prestigious universities. I feel very lucky that for the past 3 years, I have had the opportunity to be an active participant on a school board whose mission it is to protect our program and to provide a high-quality public school education for all of the students of Baldwin. During my first term on the board, I tirelessly advocated for our students through my lobby efforts, participation in various state and local organizations, and commitment to exploring alternative revenue sources to protect our educational program. There is much to be said for experience and passionate dedication. If reelected, I can hit the ground running. In such exceptionally difficult economic times, it is imperative that we have school board members who have a clear understanding of the budget process, a dedication to the improvement of education, and who possess the analytical, leadership, and collaborative skills needed to move the district forward. The significant reduction in state aid and loss of other revenue threatens all that we hold dear in our school district and for our community as a whole. I am committed to continuing my dedicated work with fellow board members, administrators, teachers, parents, and local community groups to ensure that Baldwin remains an outstanding place to receive a high-quality public school education, to work, and to live. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the Baldwin Council, PTAs, and the League of Women Voters for hosting the forum. I feel like such an old fart up here because I've been a resident for 33 years of Baldwin, and I love this town. For the last 25 years, I have volunteered my time to anyone who asked for it, both at St. Chris and PTAs. Hopefully, I've demonstrated to my 4 children that you need to get involved in your community and to help improve your community. I know my son Patrick has followed in my footsteps because he's a captain for the Baldwin Fire Department, and I'm very proud of him. I'm also very proud of our school district. I've had 4 children, as I said, go through the schools, all with different strengths and weaknesses, from art to music to sports to special ed, you name it, they've been there. So my experience that I bring to the board is as a parent. When we are having discussions among ourselves as board members, I always think, how will this decision affect children and parents? Will it make their lives better? I always let my board members, anybody who knows me knows this is true, I always let my fellow board members and community residents know where I stand on issues. As you may or may not know, all decisions made by the board must be done by consensus and not by one individual member. Therefore, we must work together to affect change. I think I've been successful by building a relationship of trust with my other board members. Therefore, they're willing to listen to me. I'm also willing to listen to others. There have been many times when I've come up with an opinion about an issue, and then as people are talking about it, they bring up points that I hadn't even thought of. So I am more than willing to change my mind if valid points are brought up. But ultimately, the Board of Ed must act on what benefits all our children. Believe me, it can be very difficult, but that's what you elected me to do, and that's what I must do. If you re-elect me, you can expect more frank discussions from me, and that my door is always open to any school and community member. Because of education law and Board of Education regulations, I may not be always able to address the topic with you, but I will listen and keep it in mind when I'm voting on that issue. It has been my honor and my privilege to serve the community on the Board of Ed, and I hope you allow me to continue. Thank you.
I would like to extend the same thanks as my opponents and thank everyone for coming out this evening. My name's Deborah Ribori. I'm running for the school board for many reasons, but probably most importantly is that I believe that the current 4-year budget plan that this board is trying to push through is poorly conceived and will not meet the needs of our students, our community, and we need to reinvent the way this district operates. Now, I'm coming to this from a few perspectives. I'm a mom of 2 daughters in elementary school and very concerned about the quality of education. I'm a community member that's actively involved in trying to revitalize Baldwin. I'm a homeowner. I'm a neighbor to senior citizens who lived on fixed income. And I'm a trial attorney with 13 years of experience in education law. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not happy with the proposed four-year budget plan. However, I will be voting in favor of the budget. We need to pass this budget to make sure our students receive educational benefit and our town continues to grow. However, this four-year plan, which is a 7% increase in the tax levy this year and 6% every year thereafter, is devastating to our schools and to our community. And the reason it's devastating, and by the way, this community has always been very supportive of education and of the schools, is that we are asking, or the board is asking this community to absorb a 25% increase over 4 years. And that is just unrealistic. It's not practical, it's not realistic, it's poorly conceived, and there's no backup plan. In any one of these 4 years, if the budget fails, we face tremendous cuts. Teachers, programs, sports, arts, music, kindergarten, who knows? Maybe another school closing. If we want to succeed, we need to change the way this district operates from the top down. We need to have a board that is transparent. We need to have a board that gives information. We need to have a board that listens to ideas and respects community input. I've already been listening to ideas, and I've heard a lot of creative ideas from people on things that we should investigate to try to close the budget gap. Easy things like going paperless, reviewing contracts, challenging bills, joining with other districts to buy supplies and books, entering into transportation agreements with districts that already own their buses, enrolling in a credit card program where purchases we make will benefit the school district, examining the administration budget and the administrative budget, offering different types of health plans to the employees. I mean, the obvious one, looking for ways to use the 2 empty buildings that have been closed for nearly a year. And then there are other things like reducing the position of our PR person so we can bring in a part-time grant writer, investigating whether we can use the county attorney's office for legal services instead of paying a high-priced private law firm. And as a special education lawyer, I know that developing special education programs where we can cross-contract with other districts and bring their students into us at like $50,000 a student. So I'm going to finish up by saying this current plan, this 7666 plan, will devastate our community. We need to change things. We need to rework the way this district operates. We need a new model, and we need to move forward, and I hope that you will support me and join me in this endeavor. Thank you for listening, even though I went over time.
Good evening. I also thank the Baldwin Council of PTAs and, for sponsoring this, and the League of Women Voters for moderating. My name is Shireen Abbott. I'm running for re-election to the Baldwin Library's Board of Trustees. I've been a Baldwin resident since 1976, so obviously bringing the kids to the library, I've been a library patron over the years, and but I'm also a library professional. I received my Master of Library Science from Queens College, and I'm employed at the West Hempstead Library as a young adult and reference librarian. One item I'm most proud of during my first term on the board was that I was instrumental in having the Nassau Library System hold a senior fair at the library 2 years ago. This was at no cost to the library, as it was covered by a grant at Nassau Library System. It was so well received that the library staff has sponsored a senior fair since that. The senior fair this year is next Wednesday, May 8th. Our library is a wonderful resource in the community. If you haven't been to the library in a while, please come to check us out. Remember to go to our website at www.baldwinpl.org to have the newsletter sent to your email. The library is not just for books anymore. We have DVDs, Blu-ray discs, music CDs, video games, books on tape, an e-reader lending program, and museum passes. In fact, we have 11 different museum passes, the most recent acquisition being the American Air Power Museum at Republic Airport. You can download books or access databases from our website using your computer at home. The library also offers a variety of programs that includes Zumba, Zumba Gold, yoga, defensive driving classes, computer classes, which include buying and selling on eBay, e-reader instructions, Sunday concerts, movie showings, and the annual job fair and volunteer fair. Recently, we had financial literacy seminars for both adults and young adults. We provide homework centers for young adults and children during the school year and summer reading programs. The library served the community during the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy by providing coffee and a warm place to hang out and charge your cell phones, laptops, etc. The library boardroom has housed the SBA Recovery Center to handle resident damage claims. I would be honored to receive your support for my re-election to a second term on the library's Board of Trustees. I urge you to vote for our budget. It's the best deal in town, I believe. And thank you very much.
And Ms. Abed? Ms. Abed? Rena Rosenthal every year purchases our brochure, They Represent You. And she gets enough so that any resident of Baldwin can come and see it. They Represent You, ladies and gentlemen, is a listing of all of the politicians, their phone numbers, their emails. So if you want to contact someone, get this from your library. All right? At the reference desk. Right. Now, we're ready.